Are you wondering what studying abroad at UNSW is like? Well, I'm about to show you. I started at UNSW during the summer term, which means I'm only taking one class, but it runs every day and is very intensive. I'm learning about the Sydney environment, both history and nature. As part of this class, we get to go on field trips. For the first one, I took the bus down to La Perouse. It's named after the first French guy to land in Australia. This beautiful sandstone tower was used to observe ships and make sure they followed customs requirements. There's also a really cool museum here. Check out these canoes. Here are some wood-burnt kangaroos and a goanna. The hiking here is also really great. I met a friendly water dragon. Something you might not know about hiking in Australia is that the trails that cut through the bush make a perfect habitat for spiders. Here are some giant golden orb weavers. We'd walk and then have to pause so the American students could scream at the spiders. But they won't hurt you. There are also some World War II bunkers here. They never actually got used, but they have some cool art on them. On the second field trip, I got to take a tribal warrior cruise. No, it's not one of these. It was a sizable boat called the Marinawi, or Big Canoe. We departed from the Circular Quay, not Quay, I knew that at least, headed for Clark Island, or Balenglewul. We got some great views of the Opera House along the way. Clark Island is a sacred place for the clans around Sydney Harbour. It was important that the spirits recognize me as a friend, so I got to wear this ochre around my face. People only go to the top of the island for ceremonial reasons, but we got to walk around the perimeter. On this rock, you can see two things. It's stained black from roasting goannas. You can also see handprints. It's part of an Indigenous youth program funded by the cruise, where they can come here and stamp their handprint as a rite of passage. I'm happy to pay tourist prices if it funds the community. Side note, we should try this at Matthewson. It would be just as scenic. After the cruise, I decided that while I was in downtown Sydney, I should do something touristy, so I got kangaroo pizza. Kangaroo is a surprisingly flavorful meat. It was almost like medium rare beef. The rest of my week is spent in lecture halls and in the lab. Check out what the lab looks like. I was amazed by all these specimens. They've got live fish, some anemones, and what I think is a sea cucumber or a sea hare. Correct me in the comments, please. Here's me with the cave bear. Outside of university, I got the chance to take a freediving class. I made my lunch and headed out to pro dive. Look at my giant fins. I had heard freediving was a great way to relax. What I didn't know was that there's nothing special about the freediving breaths. It's just that if you can relax when you think you're drowning, you can relax in any situation. Unfortunately, my second class was canceled because of the huge storm that came through Sydney. I know I can hold my breath for a minute and a half and swim the whole length of the pool underwater, but I have no idea if I can dive to 10 meters. Oh well, I'll have plenty of time to learn because I have to go back in March. It's unwise to swim after a storm. You may have heard about all of the shark attacks in New South Wales. This is because after a storm, the water gets really murky. If you're swimming, you won't be able to see anything, and neither will the sharks driven closer to the shore. You might both get confused, and the shark will try to take a bite out of you, thinking you're food. There's that, and another stinky thing that starts with SH gets washed out to sea. 3 days after the storm, it's usually safe to swim again. I checked out Maroubra Beach. Here is the famous Rubik's Cube. One time, someone tried to solve it by painting it to public outcry. It was quickly reverted. There are some fun tide pools to explore. I saw snails, limpets, and crabs. Just watch out for blue bottles. I finally saw some. They're smaller than the ones in North Carolina, but they'll still hurt. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm headed up to Byron Bay, making my way through Brisbane and Noosa. For all my Americans watching, this is where Bluey and the H2O mermaids live. Thank you so much for watching.